You may have heard that there are more brand new homes available right now than the norm. Today, about 1 in 3 homes on the market are newly built. And if you're wondering what that means for the housing market and for your own move, here's what you need to know. People remembered what happened to the housing market back in 2008. And one of the factors that contributed to the crash was that there were too many homes for sale. While only part of the oversupply back then came from builders, the lasting impact is that some people still feel uneasy when they hear new home construction has been ramped up. Even though the supply of new homes has grown this year, the data shows there's no need to worry. Builders aren't overbuilding, they're just catching up. This graph uses data from the census to show the number of new houses built over the last 52 years. Following the crash in 2008, there was a long period of underbuilding shown in red. And it wasn't until recently that we finally met the long-term average for how many homes are built in a typical year. This shows that even with the increase in new builds we've seen lately, there won't suddenly be an oversupply of homes for sale. There's too much of a gap to make up after a decade of underbuilding. And if you're still worried builders are overdoing it, here's something else that should be reassuring. The latest data from the census on housing starts, homes where builders just broke ground, and permits, homes where builders can start developing soon, shows builders are slowing down their pace right now. Why is that? They're responding to high mortgage rates and how those are impacting buyer demand. Basically, they're pulling back appropriately in response to what's happening in the market. As an article from Housing Wire explains, even with a massive housing shortage across the nation, home builders are completing their pipelines and not seeking as many permits to construct new single-family houses. Builders remembered what happened when they overbuilt in the crash, and they're not looking to do that again. So they're being mindful on pulling back a bit. If you're considering a newly built home, here's how this is going to impact you. With builders seeking fewer permits and not breaking ground on many new homes, we may be at the peak of the new home construction for the year. This doesn't mean new home construction is screeching to a stop, just that the pace is slowing down, and that'll impact what comes to the market later this year. As Lawrence Yoon at National Associations of Realtors says, given the recent decline in housing starts, home completions will steadily show decline in about 6 months. So if you're ready and able to buy now, you may find you'll have more newly built options to choose from now versus later. This may be enough reason to kick off your search. While it's true, home construction is a bigger segment of the market than the norm, that's not a bad thing. Builders aren't overbuilding, and they are responding to market signals to avoid repeating the mistakes that were made in 2008. If you want to buy now while new home options may be at their peak, let's connect. I have valuable insight into builders' reputations and other key factors specific to the market. And if there isn't much new construction near you, I'll be able to point you toward a nearby area where there is.